Mum made a point of checking my dress for splashes when I returned. When we ate supper, she made us each wear a white apron. Alice's in Wonderland, she called us. I could see where she was coming from. After supper, Mother had us wash and dry the dishes. Then the doorbell rang, and since I wasn't wearing the marigolds, I had to answer the door. "Hello, Paul," said Mrs. Brown, grinning from ear to ear and trying to see around the door behind which I hid. "Don't be shy. I'm sure you look very nice," she said as she entered. I tried as best I could to keep the front door between myself and her, but once she was inside, my shield was rendered useless. I closed the door and hung my head. "You look like Alice," Mrs. Brown said as she looked me up and down. Black Mary Janes, white knee socks, blue dress, white apron. And topping it off, my very boyish head. "Hello, Mrs. Brown," Mum said as she entered the kitchen. "Hello," she replied. "Peter looks like Alice too," she said. "Don't they both look gorgeous?" Mum said proudly. "They look absolutely delightful," our teacher said. Why she was in our home I have no idea. Mum told me to stop loitering and to get on with drying the dishes, before offering Mrs. Brown a cup of tea. They sat at the table and talked about us. "It's amazing how much they've changed after only one day," Mum said. "Boys do find it easier to behave when they're dressed nicely," Mrs. Brown replied. "If I had my way, every boy in my class would be petticoated." When we'd finished the dishes, Mum said we could take our aprons off. They fastened with 3 buttons on the back between our shoulders and a bow at the waist. After I'd unfastened Peter's buttons, he unfastened mine. "Isn't it sweet how they help each other?" Mum said. "Now hang your aprons up nicely, boys, and show Mrs. Brown your dresses." I plucked up the courage to ask why our teacher was here, in our home. "Because Granny's at Bridge Club tonight. So Mrs. Brown has kindly volunteered to help with your bath," Mum replied. "But we had a bath yesterday," Peter moaned. "Princesses have a bath every day," Mother said. "Now why don't you two go and watch TV for a while?"